Talia. Talia drank quite a bit. Bias and Dylan drank like a little. People did some quality drinking, some quality talking, had a good time. Then just sort of wrapped it on up, decided to leave. Diona stayed and had another little chit chat with Miss Ida about Susanna and learned that Susanna is just a whole fuck up. And then on her way back to Susanna's house, decided to take a look at one of the little bird crows flying about because of something Miss Ida said. And upon inspecting that bird, realized that it was like really fucking injured and fucked up and had a whole gash in its chest and probably shouldn't be alive, much less flying. But it flew away like it was fine. And that was unsettling.
Although I, as Joe, have to wonder one thing.
Mm.
Was that one of the crows that Marcus fucked up before he got killed?
I cannot legally answer that.
Hey, how if the crows when they tussle just like don't actually like truly kill each other, how fucking weird was it for them to like fight Marcus and then he just disappeared?
I mean, it was probably pretty fucking weird for the crows. It was probably a little bit unsettling, like you're just joshing around with your buddies. And then suddenly, you're like, hey, new guy, smack! And then he's just gone.
Sorry, joshing around, I can't.
Joshing around, I'm so sorry.
That's my name.
It sure is.
There's a bug, 1 minute. Got it, alright. And then you went back to the house, and then Diana was like, hey, so there's this fucked up thing going on, but she said it in the message ring, so Susanna couldn't hear it. And Lena actually could, but Lena was at the temple. I decided that Lena went to the temple after Idle Hands, and just was hanging there and getting to know people there to easily explain Emily's absence. But she might still be there. That's not the point. The point is, Vera and Bias went out to do a little investigating.
Yes,
that's
folks me.
Do. And Vera was detecting good and evil and saw a bunch of undead crows. And was
and some undead people, apparently.
You saw...
Yeah.
Let me be very clear about this. You saw specifically undead crows. Then you cast Detect Magic and saw necrotic energy or magic.
You're right, that's fair. But
the crows, the ground, and one person. You did not. The person didn't read as undead. The person read as necrotic energy. All right, that's just a clarification I wanted.
That's true.
Though it could still mean undead. I just
They
wanted to
are
be very
undead.
clear about what you know.
You can't hide from us.
What you could do when we come for you. Why, phone? How dare you? I opened up my phone to check Discord, and it decided to switch me to the audio of Discord. How fucking dare it?
How rude.
Very rude.
Honestly.
So it cut me off a little bit on what you guys were saying when I recorded it, but oh well.
Who knows what we were saying? I sure don't. You all came back, had a little chat, still through the rings, talking about, hey, the town's really fucked up. Probably we should leave or possibly help. We don't know what to do. Talia packed up all the bags because y'all are shit at packing. And
the best fucking packing we've ever seen.
Put them out in the living room.
I have to wonder. Parker, dearest, who do you think Talia was the most impressed by the original packing job of?
Oh, that's a great question.
Because we know it wasn't Dylan.
No. Diana was probably fairly methodological. Or at least pretty good at it because ships.
Yeah.
Vera maybe too because mom.
That's fair. Like, we know Dylan was the...
There's no way Vias and Dylan were the best.
I mean, Vias has traveled often, so I feel like he'd be pretty good at it, but he obviously has a bunch of cluttered shit in there. Like, I'm pretty sure he's got, like, wrappers and shit in there, like...
I feel like Vias has the potential to be good. but
Yeah,
he
Yeah.
just doesn't.
He's
He
not
just
fulfill
he
that
doesn't
potential.
care. Now that he doesn't have to
Yeah.
do it as a job, it's like, I'll clean it out later.
Like Vias, like all of like his clothes are like okay.
Oh,
but
yes.
then all of the rest of this shit is just thrown in there.
Oh,
and
yes.
Talia is like, you have so much potential.
Yep.
Why?
he basically takes very good care of his clothes, but everything else is like, nah. His loom is fine, but like that's on Lucifer's saddlebags, so he just like, yeah. His saddlebags are probably more organized than his actual personal effects.
An interesting point is that if Talia is trying to pack up like some of Susanna's clothes, that is like an ultimate challenge because of how much fucking fabric there is.
Yeah.
Oh, they did. They pulled it off. That was
I'm-
canonical.
I'm sure they pulled it off. It was just like there's a lot there.
I'm also going to have to be right back.
All right, very well. I'll allow it. And yes, Diona was still making dinner the whole time that was happening, but Talia packed up the bags. Y'all are just sort of very uncomfortable with the situation as
We have
it
not-
currently stands.
Mentioned any of this to Susanna.
Susanna is completely, supposedly oblivious. Diona put out a little dish of water for the little bird that likes to keep tapping on the window. It did not drink the water, but maybe it appreciated it anyway. You don't know. You don't speak bird.
Oh.
I mean, Vias
You know-
used to be able to, but
You know
he
who's
traded
good?
that for.
He traded
The
it for
bird.
hair flip good looks.
Traded
Literally,
it for
though.
nothing.
And so he could be good with his bird, that's it.
So,
He
Vias-
traded generally speaks bird for could speak through his bird better.
Yes. Could do
But,
better
yeah.
bird with bird.
Vias is officially useless in the situation of trying to figure out whether the bird appreciated the dish of water or not.
Marcus could tell. He could ask Marcus. Well,
You could
Wasn't
ask
Marcus still fucking dead at that
no, I
point?
revived him.
Marcus.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
wasn't
that's
that
the other thing.
while you revived him?
Marcus is alive. The little bird, as far as you know, was still sitting on the windowsill. It just wasn't drinking the water. So I guess you could do that if you wanted. It might leave. Who knows?
If Bias wants to ask Marcus how the bird's doing.
Aw.
It's just vibing. It's just a little vibing little bird.
I mean, I don't think Vias even knows it's there yet, so...
Yeah, Diona and Vera are actually the only ones who have been deliberately annoyed by this bird because that's all it likes to do is on the windows, tap tap.
It's almost like it wants something.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like it's just a little annoying little
Wants
brat,
Susanna's
actually.
soul.
And we don't know anyone who's not sometimes like that.
No, nobody in this party is an annoying brat. In fact, I resent the implication that anybody named Susanna might ever be considered annoying.
But you don't resent the implication that she might be considered a brat. Good to
Oh,
know.
she's absolutely a brat, but she's not annoying. She's so annoying. I'm annoyed by her.
Oh, but we love her. Or at least
I-
I do. I don't know about the rest of you guys.
The silence tells all.
About what?
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I
that's
was reading
jamming.
something, I'm sorry.
Nope. That's the truth. Joe's the only one who loves Susanna. That's okay.
No, that's not true. Mercy at least loves her, it's fine.
That's appreciated. Only the fucking bird loves Susanna.
Marcus is a bird.
Vias also
I-
loves her, it's fine.
No, just
Vera
I-
feels
I didn't want to love her.
Zoella loves Susanna.
Oh,
Dylan is
sure.
also a bird.
Zoella is great, I love Zoella.
I guess it's just the birds. The
Yep.
birds vibe.
So, what does that mean for Diona?
Diona is also a bird.
She
Oh,
is
okay.
she's
Really a
albatross,
bird.
it makes sense.
She's a mollymock.
Yeah.
So
Don't
that
say
means
that
if
to
everything
me.
happens. So that means if anything happens to her, we should assume incoming TPK.
Yes.
Yup.
Good to know.
Yep.
I mean, if it can take down Diona, then yeah.
I mean, we deserve
Fair.
it.
Yeah. Okay, not gonna lie, anytime anybody says TPK out loud, I'm like, what does the T stand for? Because obviously they're talking about me.
The PK.
The PK.
We are always
Yes.
talking about you.
Or total PK.
Total PK.
There you go.
So you still keep most of the.
Sending the party into a town full of zombies for funsies. Total PK.
I'm sorry. Every time that comes up, TPK, I think total party kill. Like everybody dies
Yes.
instead of like just one person. Because sometimes when people say TPK, it's like just a couple people.
Well, PK stands for the PK.
Does anybody remember what PK in my name actually stands for?
It's
No.
Party
something
killer.
Barbie.
Party killer. That's correct. Party killer. It's actually my initials.
Audrey.
Audrey.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's my middle name. It's my middle initials.
Ah.
My middle names are Pamela and Kendra. It's my grandparents' names. So,
Oh.
My apologies.
yeah. No, I'm sorry. That was a lie too. Those aren't my fucking middle.
God, it's so hard to tell when you're fucking lying, PK.
I'm so sorry. I don't have any reason to do it. I just do it.
You are a trickster god.
I
It's
wasn't
fine.
lying. I wasn't lying that those are my grandmother's names, Pamela and Kendra. Those just are not my middle names. I don't have two middle names. I only have one middle name.
Oh my
And
God.
it doesn't start with a P or a K. So,
Also, I have returned.
welcome
back.
back. Thank God. Save me
Welcome
from my
back,
lying
dearest.
pit of hell.
PK is a lying bastard. It's fine.
That's just
We knew that.
Stands for. I forgot what PK stands for. One hush.
Hmm?
Ren, are you recording? This is a good revelation.
Yes, I am recording.
PK stands for Parker.
Oh my God.
okay.
I swear you've told me at one point, and I do not remember it,
I
PK.
did tell you. I've told everybody, but it
It
doesn't
has
matter.
something to do with Barbie.
Yes, because the second, like, it's PK Barbie is my full thing,
Yeah,
but
Princess King. I don't fucking.
Princess King Barbie.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
So,
It's yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
You're alright.
it is no longer time to think about PK's name because honestly, does PK even remember what PK stands for? Very questionable. It is dinner time. You've just, you're sort of awkwardly been milling around the house trying to think to yourselves, maybe trying to do a little bit of praying. I don't know what the spiritual types do. Just trying to think what you're going to do. Diona's almost done with. And Susanna finally gets up. She's just been sitting in the dining room this whole time, completely oblivious, seemingly, to all of the revelations that you guys just had. And she, the little table in the dining room has 2 chairs at it. It looks like it's big enough to fit 4. But she takes the tablecloth off and folds up the edges and makes it a much larger table. And
I love that she has one of those tables.
yes, I love those tables, so
I
she
had
has
those
one.
for my family too.
And she has to switch to a different tablecloth. Because that tablecloth was meant for the little table. I need to go get a tablecloth for the big table. You two, since you like the attic so much, go up. There's 2 extra chairs in the attic. Go get those. And she basically
who
just
is
tosses
that at?
around. That's at Bias and Talia to go find
Bias
chairs in the attic.
glances at Talia and
The
just
2
like
short
bolts.
folks. Congrats.
Yep.
Bias bolts to try and race after before Talia, but I don't think he makes it very far.
No,
But
Talia
not
is
faster
much
than
faster
Talia.
Bias.
No. Unless he casts Expedious Retreat, which,
And I think even then, he's not faster than Talia anymore. I think Talia's
Talia's
got a
too-
50 foot now.
Too fast for
That
their
sounds
own
about right.
good.
too.
I'm still entertained by the fact that Diana can cut Talia's Zumi short.
That was
that
another
was
thing that
very
happened.
funny.
Talia tried to be bastard, and Diona said yoink.
Diana said yoink.
She
Well,
did.
Talia's about to try to be bastard again.
Yeah,
course
my-
they are. How bastard are they being? Because the attic is open at the moment. You didn't close
Oh.
it after opening it.
Then never mind.
Okay.
Oh, you're gonna jump for it again.
Yeah.
Yo, my mom
Instead-
just gave me some bread.
You must simply walk up the stairs or the little ladder thing, whatever it is. I think it's little stairs, and try and find
Yeah,
the
you
chairs.
established stairs, and that's probably why it thumps so hard.
Yes,
Um,
yes, it is stairs. 'cause it's
Although
also
now I'm
based
just
off my ground.
imagining them cartwheeling up the stairs to spite you.
Ugh.
Bias on his hands and feet, just like running up the ladder.
You could just go like normal people, but or you could
Nope,
also be
He's
bastard
trying
about
to
it.
race, be bastard.
Oh god.
Talia is inherently faster than him.
Yes, but he is trying his best. Mercy
Yeah,
has
it's
not joined in on this. She's staying with the group and just waiting for him to come back.
It is a little bit pathetic how much slower Vias is than Talia, honestly.
Talia is very happy about the race. This is the most fun they've had in a while.
Aw,
Oh.
God
Damn.
bless
Oh,
him.
okay, we need to.
that's sad. I'm sad now. Okay.
We just apparently need to like race Talia occasionally.
Yeah, even if
Oh,
Bias
They
is
just
good
need-
at it.
throwing with them.
We just need to let him out in the yard to run around.
If Bias is here for
Talia
comedic relief,
needs
he
to-
will race anyone for laughs.
Can do it wild shape style and see what happens then.
Oh, true, yeah.
Oh
he
yeah.
actually could.
Oh no.
He could be a
Talia's
horse
more
and
help.
run 60 feet
Yep.
and cast
Talia,
Expedious
couple more
Retreat on
levels
himself
for that.
before he does.
There's a
Why
lot
are
of
we
potential
going
here with this racing idea.
Yeah.
Parker's trying to speak.
Thank you. I said give Talia a couple levels for that, but yeah, just let them get the zoomies out.
Yes.
Let them be a cat for a little bit.
They
Oh, yeah.
have syndrome.
Talia is an understimulated border collie.
Yes.
Yes, actually.
Yeah, they have
They're-
so much
yeah.
ADHD.
Beautiful. Assuming that you guys actually bothered to get the chairs in your race, they are
Yes.
normal sized chairs, pretty easy to handle. I mean, though you both are tiny people, so it's a little more maybe more challenging than it would have been if somebody slightly taller / stronger had gone up to get the chairs. But Susanna knew what she was doing.
Did she?
Nope,
Does she?
she never does. And you all get some chairs. There are more chairs that Susanna fetches from various places around the living room and the back room, and just the table when expanded is clearly like ideal for 6 people, but can fit 8 snugly. So, and the table is set and the food is served, I assume, unless Diona just made it for herself to wave in everybody else's faces.
No, Diona does serve.
Okay. Well then.
Yeah, after Vice's race with Talia, he's just like he's trying to catch his breath.
Have fun.
He just like waves it off with like a thumbs up. He's like
looks like
bent
you
over a
lost.
little bit.
Did you lose? It looks like you lost.
What do you think?
I think you
Talia-
lost.
Talia is just perching on one of the chairs, very proud of themselves. Very happy with themselves.
Congratulations, Talia. It looks like you really showed him some speed.
He just like scrapes the chair out with a "Rrr," and then just plops down on the chair.
You did that on
On the
purpose.
chair they're perching on?
No, on what Vias is
Okay.
going to be sitting on.
And by perching, I hope you know this is like legitimately doing like the gay squat in the chair.
You're
Oh, of
Yes.
course.
sitting right now.
I love it.
You're Marishaing right now.
Yes.
Perfect. I'm gonna Marisha right now.
Yeah, Vias has got hit. You can't really see it, but he's got his legs crossed, so he's not doing any better.
I think we can all assume everyone is sitting in chairs in a gay way.
Zoella? Question mark.
It's almost like some of our characters are gay or something.
Yeah.
Never.
What the fuck are you talking about? I thought this was a straight campaign only.
Straight bad
I've
bitch is
never-
what it is.
Straight?
I've never heard of a gay in my life.
This is disgusting and unholy.
Oh my god.
Yep. Fits right in Corwick.
Yep.
God, yeah,
Sigh.
actually, though.
Corwick.
Ah, Corwick.
What if we accidentally kissed and we were both boys and also in Corwin?
Are you trying to?
Important. You forgot to mention that you're also both warlocks.
What if we accidentally kissed and we're both boys and warlocks and we were in Corwick?
And we both had
Yeah,
birds.
you know, just
I
just
think
kidding.
most of us would say about time.
Yeah.
It's
What
been
if-
like maybe a month. That's sad.
What if we kissed and we both had ties to the Raven Queen?
Yeah,
Haha,
literally.
unless.
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 Oh my god.
Okay.
Sigh.
Yeah.
The giggles out now.
PK, I'm sorry, I don't think anything is gonna get done today.
That's so okay. I really expected this. I expected to get a little
We're
farther into
supposed to
dinner,
have
but it's
a nice
okay.
wholesome dinner.
So,
But what
Yeah,
if
A
we
nice
accidentally
wholesome
kissed
dinner that
during
we're
the
going to
next
ruin
session?
with talk of murder and necromancy.
Sigh.
What if we accidentally kissed during the wholesome dinner and we were both warlocks?
oh my
You're gonna have to start that, bucko.
my
Well, I mean, at least they're in a room together already, so at least they have a bedroom together
laughing.
already.
Oh
They've
god.
been in rooms together the whole goddamn campaign.
Yeah.
I
At
know.
this point, I
What
just
if we
assumed
kissed
they
and
have
we were both
spoon.
boys and warlocks and we shared a room and we had ties to the Raven Queen and both had birds and we were in Corwick?
Honestly,
What
at
if
this
we
point,
accidentally-
I have kind of just thought that, like, every time they've shared a room, they've always had, like, one bed and probably spooned a couple times and just not talked about it.
Little
Oh,
awkward.
Vera
Definitely.
thinks they're actually having sex. She just wants to be the cool mom and not like.
What are you
Anything
talking
about
about?
it.
Those never had sex.
Yeah, it says the one that walked 3 hours to go get fucking
I
laid.
didn't realize it was 3 hours until after I said that.
I told you. You walked 3 hours to Charlie's, and then like 3 hours later, you were like, "I'm gonna go back to the brothel," and I was like, "Excuse me."
I did not remember the 3 hours. You do have to realize half these games I'm fucking zoned out and I don't know what's happening, and then someone either says Josh or Dylan, and I'm like, huh?
I mean, that's me. Okay, but we should
Okay.
get on track here.
You're all eating your delicious meal. And it's great. Diona made what did Diona make, Joe?
I believe we initially said some kind of curry, but if no one remembers, I'm redacting that to chicken and dumplings.
Chicken and
Mm.
dumplings.
Excellent. That sounds delicious right now.
Yeah.
Delicious and appropriate.
Yeah, it sounds like good southernish comfort food.
Very
Yes.
good.
Ish.
So, y'all are nomming. And at some point in the middle of the meal, Susanna puts down her utensils, which she has been using. I'm sure Talia has been not. Puts down her utensils and says, "All right. So what's going on?"
I don't know
Talia-
what you're talking about.
Yeah, Talia keeps their eyes focused on their plate, and she's like, "I will consume now."
I only ask, you see. I only ask because this morning, Vice, I have to say you were acting a little bit funny. And this afternoon, Diona, you were acting a little bit funny. And now, ever since ever since Vice and Vera went out for a little walk, you've all been
And
acting
me.
a little bit funny. So,
I was
I
also
just have to ask, what's going on?
Well, I don't know what Vias found, but I know what I found.
Well, actually, that's a great idea. Let's go in order. Vice, you start.
He kind of does that thing where he like takes a slow bite of his food and like dabs at his face with whatever napkin is available, sets his
They're a very
utensils
nice cloth
down,
napkin.
takes a drink, sets the drink down, swallows, does the whole procedure, and just says, "You know, I saw an interesting thing in the graveyard
We saw a gravestone with your name on it.
and heard a story of someone who may have gotten sick." Is that true? Were you sick
Uh,
enough to warrant a gravestone?
Also, like, why would they put it out there? Don't you keep those until the person dies?
Okay. Okay, I see what happened. You found my grave and you were shook up about it.
Yes, we happen to care about you and worry a lot when we see graves with your name on it.
Talia, who did not have this information before, is like wide-eyed, like, the fuck? You did not
Okay.
hear this earlier?
So
He
let
just
me
like
ask
does
you
a gesture with his hands, like I couldn't help it.
clearly. I am sitting right here. So even if you find a grave with my name on it, you know that I'm not in there, right?
Did you have a, like, twin with the same name as you?
Right.
No.
However, you
No,
did.
I didn't have a twin.
What was the circumstances that led to something like that? Usually, that is for terminally ill people.
Yeah, usually it is, isn't it?
Susanna.
Wow.
Did your family make that for you?
Yes. Well, my in-laws made that for me. It was yes.
Rude.
It not rude. It was very thoughtful of them actually. It's we like in this town to bury people very quickly, right? It's just sort of a tradition. It's always if they like you, they should be buried before, you know, the next day.
Suze, did they bury
ideally.
you alive?
What? What?
Okay, I thought not, but I had to.
Insight.
I want to insight this. Mercy is also
me
going
insight.
to, because that's actually a valid point.
Talia can't comprehend.
Yeah, you know what? I'm joining in on that, too.
What?
That is like a legit, like, if you bury
Yeah.
people that fast, it's gonna happen at least once.
Ooh, bias. No, Mercy was also going to insight, but what is
Mercy
bird?
can-
What is bird wisdom? Yeah, insight. Hers is +2, I guess.
Okay, so let's see here. Dylan got 50.
Talia's busy dealing with the
Oh,
idea
shit.
that you buried them.
Mercy sees through your bullshit.
Yeah, what a waste.
Okay, so Mercy would see through my bullshit if there was any bullshit. Xana is genuinely like shocked and appalled by this
Oh,
idea
thank
that she would have
God.
been buried alive.
Mercy translate
No.
this information to Vias mentally, and he relaxes a little bit.
No, I was not buried alive. No. Okay, hold on. You're all taking this very much the wrong way. Okay, we like to bury people quickly because it's just tradition, right? That's all that's the background information that you need to have. Yes, I
I
was sick.
think Donna kind of flicks a side eye to Vera, just
Yeah.
considering what Vera found out.
Alright, but there's usually a process of internment. Usually it takes within 3 days or more.
No. See, I don't know what sort of fancy burials y'all do, because y'all have like a whole thing and like the Raven Queen, like that's a very serious thing for you. We aren't particular about how a person is buried. We just put them in the ground, all right? Like
Oh,
there's
wait.
no
Why?
information.
Talia
Is
raises
there
her
any
hand.
specific reason for this?
Because we
Talia's
like to
raising
bury
her
Yes,
hand.
Talls?
Talia.
You know what, actually, this is probably not the best time to ask about this. I'll keep it to myself.
Okay. All right.
It's like, Talia, burying a body is kind of like feeding the ground.
Talia's like, excuse the fuck out of me?
It's a way to keep disease away from the living.
Do you know what decomposition is? Because I figured that out because I left an apple in my bag for like a week.
Oh, Dylan, no, that's nasty.
I know what decomposition is.
And it helps feed things like mushrooms and also grass. So, like, you put their body in the ground and then, like, grass grows, and it's like, oh, yes, we have fed the earth. Or something.
I think Diona is just kind of, looking at this conversation like she doesn't know what to do with it, and it seems like Talia isn't the only one with some culture shock.
He is not wrong.
Suzanne,
No, he's not wrong. He's not wrong. It's just that this is some culture shock for Diona.
Bias is also nodding along with Dylan.
Talia is very much in that, like, I don't understand what, like, there must be something I'm fucking missing here. Like, why would you feed the ground and not yourself?
Oh my god.
No one has introduced them to the concept of farming yet.
Oh, they don't even know about farming.
Oh no,
I swore
agriculture.
that was another thing we had done. I am so sorry.
Yeah.
Suzanne,
I swore that we had given them basic.
No.
Dylan, we have taught them how to do a handshake before literally anything more.
You kind of explained birthdays and a little bit about money, and then just kind of left it.
Yeah, okay.
We don't even know how to approach like parents and like children and aunts and uncles and that concept, but that's fine.
Yeah.
You all explained baths. You got baths out of the way.
Cats are important.
we're so terrible to Talia all the time.
Poor Talia.
We do our best, but a lot of us don't
It's-
know how to add. Anyway,
Yeah.
It's
okay.
you don't know how to explain what you don't know the other person doesn't know.
Talia's been very clear of, like, I don't understand anything, and you're like, oh, okay, and then don't talk about anything. Anyway,
Did, however, clearly explain a handshake.
you did. Talia understands what a handshake is. That is one of the only solid answers they have.
okay, so
Susanna has just sort of been like head in hands, like, oh, how do I even? Okay,
anyway,
so
that still doesn't answer the question of why they put your gravestone up
right, okay, so
if you weren't buried.
I was not buried. They had it ready for me though, because I was sick. Yes, I was sick. I was quite sick for a long time, and they thought that I was gonna be gone. Mr. Mackenzie told my husband that I was gonna be gone in an hour, maybe two, and so it was. We also don't like really having to dig a grave in the dark because it makes things a lot more complicated. So there was still some sunlight left. I was probably going to die overnight. They went and got my grave ready for me. I didn't die. I'm going to need it eventually, so they just left it.
Did your husband die instead?
So, why... Do you know why you got better?
There were two questions there. Dylan, my husband did die. Yes, that is why I wear all black all the time. And also why he is not here in this house, but it was not at the same time, and he was not sick.
Okay, that makes sense.
And he is buried in the ground. It should next to my grave. You probably would have seen that.
Talia kind of had, like, tastes like a drink of water. It's like, I am looking away.
At your stalling, Susanna, Mercy does kind of like hop over and like tug on your clothing just a little bit.
Yes. So then, Vice, you asked why I got better. I got better because my sister Eleanor has always been pretty good with healing. And she hadn't been with me at my bedside because nobody wanted to upset her. So they had made the decision to not tell her how sick I was when they thought I was still going to recover. And then when they thought that I was not, they told her, and she came and she helped me.
Dick
better.
move.
Yeah, I won't refute that. I was quite upset about it when I learned.
Vice looks
that was-
furious.
That was big. That was a fight. And where my grave is, I thought about that too. But it wasn't my husband's fault. He was a bit distracted with a dying wife. And yeah. So
So your
that
sister
is-
had healing magic, and he decided, oh yes, I'm going to let my wife suffer because surely she will die, and your sister that knows things about keeping people alive can surely do nothing for this.
he thought that I was going to get better on my own, and he didn't want to upset her.
Why would she be upset if she
Insight
can
check.
be...
Insight check away.
He's just going to say,
No.
why would...
Oh my god, double ones.
Oh no!
Oh,
Yep,
Vice-
sounds reasonable.
Vice is just going to continue with, why would she be upset if she's used to healing people who have issues?
she wasn't. I mean, Eleanor wasn't a doctor, all right? She wasn't a healer. She just was naturally inclined towards, you know, she was good at it, but it wasn't like what she did. She wasn't the town healer. She could help when people needed help, but she was not. She
She didn't have the disposition for it.
well, it's not. She was just. I wouldn't want to upset her either, because if I thought that I was gonna be okay, I was out of it. I didn't have any choice in it, but I wouldn't have wanted to upset her if I could have told her about it after the fact, and she would have never had to been so distressed while there was any kind of worry or concern. But unfortunately, it didn't work out that way.
But it's family's job to have
Well-
concern and to help how they can.
I had my other family. It was all right. It's not like I was alone. And
Does your sister have any healing magic, or is she simply skilled with herbs and poultices and...
oh, she had something. I don't know very much about magic, but there was something there. It wasn't just skill. It was something beyond that for sure. There was magic. I don't know what sort. I don't know anything about it, but she did, and I'm sure that's the only reason she was able to help after it had been so late. But it just, people make a lot of questionable decisions in very stressful situations, and I try not to blame anyone for anything that was done.
Can Vias insight that?
Sure.
Vias and
They
Mercy
are
are
the
gonna do this
actual,
again.
the
Oh, shit,
actual
Vias!
healer who
Yeah,
has a
Vera.
+6 to medicine is not sure she buys all of this, but
Yeah.
Vias, you are looking at Susanna, and she looks like under the surface, she is just seethingly furious at whatever happened. She is trying so hard to not be angry, but there is a lot of anger that is just sort of pushed down, repressed.
Vias is
What?
going to
Like she represses everything.
the Susanna story.
Vias is going to stand up. He's going to push his chair back, stand up, walk to where Susanna is, and just hug her.
Oh, and she hugs back.
I think at this point, Talia kind of clears their throat and kind of gives like a look over at Vera. Like, is this really the avenue of conversation we really want to go through right now?
Yeah, he
No,
doesn't
she's-
make the hug last very long because he assumes it probably is not the best to be hugged when you're angry. But he wanted to at least try and diffuse that a little bit.
She does seem to appreciate it, and a little bit of the tension in her shoulders does relax a bit. And
He will just stay there for a moment, and just wait for the rest of whatever needs to be said.
Well, yes, but I'm quite well now, I assure you. I had ups and downs then, but I mean, I was on the road for however long with you all, and so.
Well, I'm glad you're well now.
Me too. Much better to be well.
Where... I don't think I heard much about your sister, Eleanor. Aside from the fact that she's gone currently?
Yes. Well, Eleanor, went. I don't know where she is. I don't know where she is. She went missing on the same day that my husband died.
Vice looks a little bit put back by that and suspect.
I think you see Diana kind of also suddenly get very fixated on her food for a moment.
Oh.
Dylan is fascinating.
Bless him.
Jesus Christ.
Talia is
I
giving
love
Vera a big, like, we should talk about the birds now.
And I think once that trails off down, it does kind of. After I talked to Miss Ida, she suggested I take a closer look at some of the birds.
At the crows?
Yes.
All right.
I saw one that should have been dead and was still flying around. And I don't think it was the only one.
Oh, Dylan does not like that.
Dylan. All right, he was summoning Marcus, wasn't he? All right. Susanna just sort of nods and says, yes. Yes. Like it was hurt and it was still flying around. Yeah, so the crows like to attack each other for fun, I think. That's how they play.
Marcus makes a squawk.
The crows are dead,
yes.
Susanna. Susanna, the crows
Yes.
are dead, and they're still flying around.
Susanna, we know they're dead.
Yes.
And it's not just the crows.
Oh,
There's an
okay.
energy to this place. To the land. To the animals. To the people.
Heavy
There are dead people
necromancy.
walking around, Susanna. We
There's
need
no-
to leave.
There's no dead people walking around.
No, there's
Bullshit.
Are you
There's
certain?
no dead people walking around.
Are you a dead people walking around?
Do I look like
They
a dead
were
people walking
tested
around?
it. She's
It's-
You
fine.
cover your face all the time.
She's not a dead person.
Vera tested it and I trust Vera's instincts. She is a mother after all.
Oh, I have the seal of approval that I'm not a dead person.
Obviously
Well, if you're a
not.
dead person, you're doing a very good job of hiding it.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Sus.
Look, no, don't talk to me because there are not dead people walking around this town.
Okay.
Maybe there aren't
Okay.
dead people, but there is an energy.
Does
here.
it seem like she's telling the truth or is she trying to hide it?
With your insight check from earlier, I'm gonna let you keep that. She seems very insistent that there are no dead people walking around because there cannot be any dead people walking.
Oof. Okay.
Do they turn into birds?
What? No.
Like, okay, theoretically, like, you look at the bird, like a crow, and it's, like, kind of small. What if, like, how many crows would a person turn into?
No. There are no dead people walking around because we bury all the dead people.
What
So
if
that
you
they
missed
don't get
the
up and
few?
walk around?
Sometimes it happens. It's happened before. Yes, sometimes dead people are missed, and sometimes. And Susanna looks ghost white. She looks
Sus.
terrified right now.
Easy.
Sus.
No, don't.
Yeah, Diana's gonna stand up and just very gently, sort of, very light hand on the wrist and breathe for me, sis.
There's no dead people right now.
I'm
Nobody's
not-
died lately.
I'm not saying there is dead people, just that there is a necrotic energy to this place, and maybe it has infected a perfectly healthy living person. But either way,
Oh, oh, well, okay. So, the birds, yes, okay, they're dead. Some of them are dead. They're dead. They just get up sometimes, but they're not hurting anyone. They don't hurt people, so there's no harm to it.
Talia's like, are you really sure about that one?
Have they hurt you?
They hurt Marcus.
No,
Marcus
not
is
yet.
Marcus brought that on himself.
Well,
I'm trying to be so nice about saying this, but Marcus is a bird. He's
still
not
a
like
living
a
creature.
human person.
Marcus is also a dumb bird.
And it didn't
Marcus-
hurt him in the end. I mean, he's back, isn't he? He's back.
Oh, they still feel pain, I promise you.
Oh, that's a
Oh,
terrible thing to say.
Marcus is too dumb for that.
Susanna,
Yeah.
where I come from, we have some experience with not dead things, and that's never a good sign.
I think I've killed like
not-
20 of those.
It's not great. It tends to end with either more dead things or like a dead fae or more of us undead and enslaved. So point is, I don't trust this, and I would like to be out of town yesterday.
Okay.
But, Susanna, I can't speak for anyone else, but I don't want to leave you behind.
Oh,
You're
hell
our
no, I'm
friend,
not leaving.
and we like you.
And if we leave you behind, we are very bad friends.
Oh, agreed. And plus, I don't think Mercy would physically let me. I think she would probably maul me.
Aren't you Maul?
Oh yeah, she has very sharp beak and talons. He points to her and she kind of just like lifts her leg and like shows those really sharp like bird claws and just like flexes them.
Dylan tries to give Marcus a look, but they're still linked, so it doesn't work.
You did see what she tried to do at the temple. Oh wait, no, you weren't there. Yeah. Anyways,
Okay. So, Talia, you want to leave?
They nod.
You can do that. It's okay. I won't stop you from leaving. What kind of person would I be to stop you from leaving? You can leave if you want. Any of you can leave if you want.
What kind of
you
people
don't have-
would we be if we left you here?
and Susanna, we actually care about what you think.
I mean, but
If you want us to stay and keep you company or deal with something, we're here for it.
I don't want you to stay just because of me when you're in a place that is so bad for
Susanna.
you.
We
bad
came
for
here in the
you.
first place with you.
But you didn't know, and that wasn't fair. You didn't know about this. You didn't know what it was
Sus-
like, so it wasn't
Sus-
fair for me to even ask
hey.
you to come here with me. And it doesn't.
Susanna,
That
breathe. Please.
don't have to breathe if I don't want to. Don't boss me around down.
Susanna.
No. I'm fine. I'm just trying to figure out what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do.
We came with you because we wanted to support you, and that hasn't changed.
But
And
You
it's
are our
not.
friend. We care about you, and that takes priority over everything else. Okay?
Except for the
What you
We're
can
scared,
do,
and we want you to be. That's
what you can do is tell us what you know about this place that we might not have already found ourselves.
help
Any
clear up any
information.
misunderstandings we might have.
any information you have helps. And honestly, I don't really care about not knowing stuff. I care about knowing stuff now. So,
We want to make sure that you and all of us are going to be safe. That's all we want.
Bias just nods in agreement.
All right.
You don't need to care about fairness.
Okay. What I know that I have lived here my whole life, and aside from a couple stupid people who didn't bury their dead, we haven't had it hasn't been a problem. It hasn't been a problem. There was one time a man was killed, they didn't bury him, and he got into a celebration and he attacked, but it wasn't, it was one time. It happened once. It doesn't hurt people, and nobody was even hurt that day except for him. I mean, though he was obviously dead already, and that was for unrelated reasons. It does, but it hasn't, it's not a problem. You know, it's not like it's not like there's this, it's just a fact of what things are around here.
Bias kind of like straightens up a little bit and he says, but the fact that people were rushing to put you in a grave because they were afraid of this sort of thing happening sounds like a problem to me.
Are there stories about why? Any legends about the area, the town?
Yeah, but I really don't think I should say those. That's horribly insensitive considering.
I like stories,
Well.
Susanna.
I'm not the most
Oh.
sensitive soul.
I don't think I can say that. I don't think I should say it. I mean, we don't even know. It's not real. It's a story. It's a story. It's not
Then
real.
it's no harm in sharing it if it's a story.
And a lot of stories are rooted in facts that actually happened.
Oh, I
And-
don't want to say it.
Susanna, you don't have to tell us anything you don't want to.
Do you want to go for a walk? Let's go for a walk. How about we go for a walk? Delicious dinner, Diana. Let's go on a walk. And Susanna gets up and pushes away from anybody who is near her and immediately walks to the door.
Bias takes like something, probably like a one of the pieces of like one of the chunks of dumpling from his chicken and dumpling thing, whatever it was. He just grabs
Yeah.
one of those, takes a bite of it, and then follows after Susanna.
All right.
Yeah, Diana's gonna. I think she very quickly sort of covers whatever's left with, and then does go to follow because it seems like rather than telling Susanna one thing.
It's possible.
Susanna does fly, or jeez. Mercy flies after Susanna almost immediately.
Okay.
Vias is like right behind her, so.
All right.
I'm assuming, is anyone not coming?
Talia is, but trailing behind.
All right.
Yeah.
So Susanna opens her door and walks on out. She's left her veil behind, so that's a little bit unusual already. And she walks out of her house, down off her porch, and turns and starts walking up the hill to where all those crows fly and swarm. The place that none of you have gone yet, but have been very curious about since the beginning.
Vias is excited. Mentally.
I'm not.
Talia
Yes.
is very, very upset in the back, but let's keep moving.
Curiosity killed a cat for Vias.
It better not.
Yeah.
Oh.
See?
We don't even have a cat. Oh,
We
fuck,
do.
Finale.
Yes, we don't.
We have a cat.
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh no!
I forgot we have a cat. It's okay.
Finale.
I'm fine.
What's happening to the cat?
Nothing's happening to the cat. Nothing's
Finale
happening
is
to the
safe
cat.
Got
with
a
Talia.
nice- Got a nice dinner of chicken and dumplings.
Exactly. That is what happened to
The
the cat.
cat is eating the undead bird.
No,
No.
Finale is in
Yeah.
Talia's arms, okay?
Okay.
Not,
Yeah.
not that.
I
The
think
cat.
Talia is rather desperately clinging to Vinali right now. I think that's what's up.
Oh my god, can you imagine how weird it would be as a cat if you like killed the bird and you were like getting ready to eat and you know this bird's dead and then it just kind of like gets up
Oh
and like
god.
flies away.
Oh, that would be a prank.
Fuck me up if I were a cat.
If I were a cat and I saw that, I would tell all my cat friends and they
Yeah.
wouldn't believe me.
Yeah, wouldn't that be fucked up or what if I was a cat and I saw that?
Wouldn't it be fucked up if we were cats and we saw that and then we accidentally kissed or something?
Okay. So we're heading to the field.
You're going to the field. It is indeed the hill sort of evens out, and it's sort of a flat plateau. And there are so many crows right here. It's an overwhelming number of crows. And Susanna walks right out into the middle of it, and there is a big sort of rock thing in the middle of the field. And as you get closer, if you all follow her into the middle, the crows do not like swoop or swarm at you. Or do anything alarming or concerning that is directly hostile.
Besides just existing.
Yeah, their existence is pretty hostile. They are fighting each other, though, if you look. And Susanna walks up to the rock and sort of points at it. And as you all walk up and inspect it, there's a little plaque there. And all the plaque says is Founding Field. And Susanna says, okay, so... this is Founding Field. It's called that because apparently when the people who founded this town came here, this is where they stayed the first night. This is where the first house was. This is where the first everything. This is where they founded the town. Obviously, there is no house left. A little farther up the hill after the plateau, there is a house, but she's not pointing at that.
Yeah.
And she says, yes, so it's called Founding Field, but if you ask anybody in this town what this place is called, they won't call it Founding Field because nobody calls it Founding Field. Everyone calls it Raven's Grave.
Marcus looks upset.
Interesting.
And they say that the day the people first came here, before the town, before any of it, before the first folks came here, this used to be a place with a lot of ravens. It was a safe place for ravens. Ravens were here, but before everything, and this is just where they flocked, where they stayed, and this is where a bunch of ravens lived, basically. And then the people came here, and they brought crows, and the crows did not get along with the ravens, and so they killed all the ravens to make room for the crows. And that is why it's called Raven's Grave. And some people say they buried all the raven bodies in there, which I don't think that's true. And some say they burned all the raven bodies. And it's... So, really, here's the thing. Dylan, we don't not like the Raven Queen. It's just that, like, a while ago, a bunch of people killed a bunch of ravens, and it feels awkward. You know, that's why there's no Raven Queen worship here. That's why nobody talks about the Raven Queen here. That's why it's really weird to see a raven here.
Dylan's Raven Queen symbol on his book bag is glowing.
Why is
Yeah.
he stroking Mercy's white raven feathers?
So,
Dylan does not seem to be aware of this, and it is very faint, but it is glowing.
Okay. Susanna just sort of sits on the rock, and says, "So, yes, that's what I know. That's what I know. That's all I know.
Okay.
Because
Bye.
I don't know anything about the Raven Queen, all right? But doesn't like undead, doesn't do any, like, so it kind of makes sense if you think about it, doesn't it? A little bit, does it make sense? Maybe? I don't know.
Vice rolls up his sleeves. I guess we got to kill all the crows then.
Oh my god, do not.
I don't think that will be successful.
I mean, look around.
Look at them.
I used to shoot crows when I was younger, because I shot a lot of things when I was younger.
You still do.
No, I don't.
Not
Right.
here. We don't.
I don't. I haven't touched a gun in years, but this is where you'd shoot one and it would be fine, and like it would land on the ground and you know that you shot it, and then it'd get back up. So it wasn't like it, you know.
You watch
That's
Vias just like raise an eyebrow, and he says, "I wonder if they could withstand the guiding bolt. That usually destroys most people." So
But we shouldn't because people would be watching, people would notice, people would see. We should go back inside now, probably. I don't know what I was thinking. I didn't have to bring everybody out here, but I did it anyway.
hold
Okay,
on,
let's-
and he will reach out and hold her arm, not like her actual wrists or anything like that, just like
Mhm.
a gentle hold. We should probably look around, maybe.
I mean, you can look around if you like. It's a field with a bunch of crows. I don't know what else to tell you about it.
He glances at Vera.
Yeah, I'm gonna cast Detect Magic again.
All right.
Right near the rock.
All right. So, the ground, juicy. The
Great.
crows, many of them are juicy. The rock, pretty juicy, not overly juicy, but you do notice that the vibes in this particular patch of field are a lot harsher and more powerfully necrotic than the vibes just a little ways over in the town proper.
Now, is there like
Yes.
a necrotic energy directly underneath, like maybe where a bunch of ravens were buried, and now their angry souls are giving off bad vibes, bad juicy vibes?
Looking like sort of trying to focus your detect magic deeper into the ground, you do not detect any particular source from under the ground. You just sort of detect particularly strong vibes in the fields that sort of seem to radiate out towards the town. It doesn't seem like there's maybe any source of angry raven souls directly beneath the rock or anything, though that would have been way cooler.
I
Can
hold on.
Vias try something if he walks a little closer to like this area? It's just like basically like a field. There's no like big tree or anything in, right? Like,
Yeah, it's just a field. The rock is the landmark, pretty much.
can he reach his hand out and try and druid craft the grass? Like, see what happens if he tries to imbue some like life magic kind of stuff into the ground?
Yeah, for sure. You go, you reach your hand down, and I don't know what druid, like, it sprouts some flowers.
Yeah, druid craft just like, here, I can even copy paste what the hell the stuff is. It's really not
Tasty.
much.
Yeah, alright, so I thought that was this. So you just, yeah, where you put your hand on the ground, the grass, I mean, it's pretty early yet in the year, so there's like some basic sprouting going on, but it's still pretty dead around. And so you reach your hand into the grass and it gets a little greener, a little livelier, taller, maybe a flower blooms. And you take your hand away and you watch it. And it doesn't seem to immediately fade or go dead or shrivel up or anything.
Okay. That puts
I
a
put
little
a-
bit of hope in my heart. It seems like the ground isn't necessarily cursed. Maybe it is, but it looks like there might be hope for this place.
What were you saying, Josh?
No, I was just saying, hey, like out of character, bunch of dead ravens. Marcus is a raven. Marcus is a spirit.
Oh,
Oh,
Oh, he is.
Oh. Interesting. Interesting.
I don't know if you want to do anything with that, but I was thinking about it. I was like, oh shit.
I do have some things that I need to text you, but not yet.
Okay.
So, Susanna seems like she's itching to get off this hill. She says, "Can we go back inside now? Are you done looking around? Is that enough?"
There's nothing else I can do here.
I don't have remove curse taken today, and I don't think that would do the trick with this.
Yeah, probably. I mean, it's been like this a very long time. Like, this is not a new phenomenon. It's not like yesterday we woke up and the crows rather started.
Vias hesitates and says, "Would Anna at the Palo Temple know anything?"
Oh, I don't know about Anna. She's just, I don't know. Things are weird there. I've never. That's another conversation. That is a completely different conversation. We cannot have that conversation in public for sure. We can't have any of these conversations in public. And
How about we retire to the house, because obviously we are all tired from our walk. He's like giving that sideways conversation sort of thing. And he gestures down the hill.
Dinner makes you sleepy and then you say stuff you don't really mean.
Of course, and we need to talk about situations in private.
Okay, so we will go back. Okay, thank you. And she just books it down the hill.
Vias just gives a slight sigh and shakes his head and follows.
I assume everybody follows because I don't think anybody really wants to hang out in the creepy Crow Hill.
Vias does kind of look back at it and then narrows his eyes a little bit, kind of shivers, and then goes back to what he's doing.
Zoella is perfect, by the way.
Oh my god.
Okay, Vias, make a perception check.
Ooh. Come on, Vias. Do good, buddy. Okay, that's not very good. 14.
14. It's enough. You see, in the swarm of black feathers, you see a little flash of white and gray, and then it's gone. And you turn and you keep going back to the house.
Oh. Well, that bird.
So,
Also, I heard my cat cry at my door, and I don't know if I want to let him in or not.
Let him in.
Save him.
Let him in.
I guess I'll do it.
Don't.
I heard his beep.
Okay,
He's so distressed.
yeah, I have to let him in now. Sigh. What type of mother would I be? Honey, baby.
So we've headed back to the house.
yeah, basically, you get back into the house, and Susanna kind of looks like she wants to go shut herself in her room, but she makes do with flopping in an armchair with her arms crossed, looking very distressed.
Was that Mochi?
Okay, my son is here now.
Which son?
Was that
Good.
Mochi or Lance?
It was Lance. He just went
Lance?
wow at me at the door.
good
He knows.
The good one.
Lance?
He's a good baby.
Good boy.
I think he just wanted me for the litter box I keep in my room.
So,
Please look at the fucking dog.
Oh my god, that's
Which
a
dog?
fucking dog right there. Oh my god.
Oh my god, that dog!
Cute.
I want to be that dog.
I want to be that dog.
I want to
That is
hold
my-
it so bad.
That is my ideal form.
Oh my god. Can that be the image that our Mastiff looks like?
Yes.
Yes.
Hat.
Oh,
I mean, I feel like
dog.
we should ask Parker about that.
please,
Morgan
That
wears a
Parker.
hat.
is.
Morgan wears a hat.
Let-
Morgan wears a hat.
What?
Morgan wears a bucket hat.
Morgan wears a hat.
Sure.
Yes! Deborah Morgan!
They were saying
Yes.
in the image that Josh posted to the pepperoni chat that they're asking if that's what Morgan looks like.
Can that be Morgan?
Morgan is black, but also, yes.
Oh,
Yay.
gosh. He could be a black version of that. That would be very cute.
What if
He's-
Morgan was just my dog? Straight up just my dog.
Sounds like
baby.
Black. So,
Yeah. So, you're all back in Susanna's living room.
uh-huh.
Whatever
Susanna
question.
sitting
Susanna
on
does
the
not
couch.
look like she wants to talk about this.
Well, we are going to figure this out.
We could just leave. Just
We could, but it seems like this is still a problem for Susanna's hometown. And possibly Susanna.
I don't think it's okay. I don't know. I don't think it's fixable. You know, I think it's been this way for such a long time. I mean, we're not talking like it's been this way for 20 years. I'm talking it's been this way for hundreds of years. So it's not like it's just gonna up and stop.
Why would you take away their infinite birds?
What?
Infinite birds. If they don't die, birds forever.
However, that is very horrible for them. A sacrilegious thing for their bodies.
And
Yeah, they do seem to kill each other a lot. I wonder
Oh,
if there's
great,
an amount
Lance
of
wants out now.
birds
I'll
can
be
be
right back.
murdered.
Hi, you just wanted in to use my litter box, didn't you?
That's just a cat.
Hi.
What a baby.
Can hear his beeps.
He beep.
You're such a baby.
Like, I think you could probably, like, I don't know, kill some individual crows if that was what you were wanting to do with your life and think that would help anything. But there's a lot of them. I don't know if you noticed, there's a lot of them. And there's people who, it's like a thing. It's actually a point of pride, you know, I'm a crow. We are crows. There are crows. It's a thing. It's a thing. It's like a whole thing.
Did you make the crows?
Did I make the crows?
Well, the family, the crow last name thing.
Yeah, that's the point because that's what I
the
I
crows
said.
came here with them.
The crows founded the town, brought the crows. That's why they're called the crows, and that's why they are in charge. Basically, I mean, it hasn't always been this way, dips and flows, but that's why the crows have always been here.
Where did the crows come from? The family.
I don't know. I really don't. I swear I would tell you if I did, but I don't.
Susanna, I have one more question.
God. What?
Do they interfere with the mail coming in?
The mail? The crows
Yeah.
or the crows?
The family. I
I don't know. It wasn't anything I ever was involved with, but I know there were fights between Idle Hands and the Temple and the Crows with the mail and talk about mix-ups, and everybody knew it wasn't really mix-ups, but it was just, you know, people got each other, you know, it was, yes, there have been problems with the mail, but that is not any one group's fault. You know, that's just sort of a thing. Oh my god.
I'm sorry, I love that mental image.
That is actually what happens, Parker. You hit the nail on the head.
The mail.
Oh my god.
That's their food source.
They eat it.
Must consume the literature. Secret
What do
literature.
crows eat?
Just about anything they goddamn please, quite frankly.
Do they eat each other?
Yes.
They are
Yeah.
carrion birds.
Yeah, they eat each other.
Opportunistic bastards. That's what I love to hear.
Are there some undead crows that are just like bones by now? Just vibing?
You haven't seen any that are like truly decayed to the point of being like that's not even a fucking bird anymore.
So they eat the bones. Got it.
Bro, I literally
Or-
have crows sitting on.
The magic can only sustain them when there's a certain amount of body left.
There's legit a pine tree by my house, and there's like 3 ravens, or not ravens, crows just like sitting there, and I'm like, bruh, get out of here.
Yep,
But-
they're vibing. They're here for you, man.
Please
So
go
if-
away.
If there is, so there are, but there aren't a bunch of crow bodies around.
You haven't seen them, no.
So they eat the bones. Got it.
Oh my god. They become fertilizer. They are bone meal.
Bone meal.
Like in Minecraft.
Yeah, Minecraft.
God.
I get you.
God.
That's
So-
why grass can still grow.
I need my flowers.
Yes.
Okay. Susanna, How long do you want to stay?
See, now that's a very tricky question. You see, because you all obviously would like to leave yesterday. I get that. That makes sense. I would like to stay for a little bit because this is my home. This is where I live. And some people maybe think that I shouldn't leave at all. So that's the
What,
tricky bit of the
Susanna?
question because I don't know what I should do.
Susanna, disregarding other people's opinions, our opinions, whoever wants you to stay, what do you want to do?
What
does our friend Susanna want to do? Not Susanna May, not... What does...
Okay.
What do you want to do, Sus?
Look. I don't... Shoot. Okay. I want to stay for a few more days, alright? I want to stay for a few more days because I miss people here. I do. And this is where I'm from. This is my family. This is everyone I know is here. And I can't just up and leave, even if I didn't have to. Even if I didn't, but
Well, what do you say we see through a week here? And then we see what happens.
Susanna, looks at Talia.
They just look quietly back. If there's a moment of silence, Talia sighs and goes, I'm raised to follow the will of the group. So, that's that.
Well, we should hear everybody's opinions first.
That's not right. Not... Okay.
Look, I'm willing to stay longer here. Mostly because I kind of understand how to deal with the undead. I've kind of been dealing with it for a while. It's like a whole thing in my area. I don't know everything.
People wake up too?
What?
Do your dead wake up too, or is that just...
Not in Haven, but the outside perimeters are quite dangerous, and we take certain precautions to keep them out. Because they try to get in, and there's a few people that try to keep them out, so...
So that's really not that different from here.
Except we don't... I mean, if we have any that we think that will be undead, we just burn them. And we don't kind of... Yeah, we kind of allow memorial. So, the wards in my area actually keep the undead at rest. It keeps the necrotic energy from spreading at all. Very old magic. I honestly, I don't know it at all. But there are wards placed by many generations of celestial and, what would you say, clerical workers. Nowhere near my level, unfortunately. My grandfather might be able to help, but he is thousands of miles away.
Okay. Alright, okay. No, you're right. Let's tackle this logically. So, Diona says we can stay a little bit longer. Vias says we can stay a little bit longer. Talia says we can stay a little bit longer, but what they actually mean is I would really like to get out of here right now, please. Veyra, Dylan, what's,
And so all of
No, Susanna. What I mean is I have my own opinion, but the way it has always worked for me is that the majority rules. So, whatever the majority is, I'm fine with. Okay?
I'm not a big fan of the birds.
I won't sugarcoat it. I don't want to stay here, but I think we should leave as soon as possible. But I also want to help this place if I can.
Bias nods in agreement.
I need you all to understand. I need you to understand that you're not in danger here, alright? It's not. Nothing's gonna hurt you here.
No, but they might hurt you.
I can't. I've lived here my whole life and I've been fine. This is what I'm. Unless you're dead from some other
It's
source, it's not
not
gonna hurt you. It's not gonna hurt you.
Physical harm I'm talking about, Seuss. I'm not talking about physical harm. That's not how I'm scared of them hurting you.
Okay. So, Okay.
But I think that particular conversation is one for maybe the morning, maybe when we're in. I don't know, but I want us to be safe,
I just
and
don't
that
want.
includes you, Susanna.
I just don't want you all to be scared that something's going to happen because the birds are a little bit strange, alright? Like, you're not. There's no dragon living here. There's no. It's.
Susanna,
This should be.
I think I'm.
This should be.
I think we're more afraid of a temple in some weird woods than we are of this place.
Yeah. So I just don't. I just want to make sure that everybody knows that. Like, we've done a lot of really scary things together, and this shouldn't be one of them. This is just a visit, and it's not. It shouldn't be a bad thing.
I'm glad we get to come along with you.
If you believe that, if you really, truly believe that, then I agree.
There's nothing left here that's gonna hurt you in this house.
Does she really truly believe that?
Make an insight check.
Yeah, I kind of want to see too.
Yeah,
Man.
Donna's gonna.
It is not a good night for insight.
16?
I want to see how these rolls
Oh,
go.
Joe.
Diana
Yep.
don't know anything.
To be fair, I think Diana is very. She is more disquieted by this than she's trying to let on.
Yeah.
So-
That's valid.
Let me.
How is Zoella doing in all of this? I'm curious.
I mean, I wasn't here last session, so I just been kind of listening and following along. So,
Okay.
she's-
Yeah.
I think Talia kind of clears their throat and softly goes, "Nothing left to hurt us?"
Susanna looks at you, and because she rolled shit on her deception, she looks at you, and then she looks into the dining room, and then she looks back at you, and then she gets up and she walks away down the hall, and just shuts the door in her bedroom and just leaves. That's what she does. Too much honesty in one conversation. She's having a reaction.
Bias just sighs and puts his head in his hands on the table.
Talia stands up and they're gonna search the basement again.
Okay. Okay. Go right ahead.
I think you guys just see Diana very, very much sort of like the wind has been knocked out of her, and she just kind of slumps and. I don't know what we're supposed to do here.
Fuck.
Okay, Talia, you go through and you don't see anything that you didn't see the first time. You just look through. You see notes and journals and things of a clock making sort of variety and a jewelry making sort of variety, and you see desks and shelves and the walls, and that's it. Nothing else that you see that gives you any different vibes.
Talia is very frustrated and will continue to lurk in the basement.
All right, you're just chilling in Susanna's workshop. That's super valid of you.
I think Diana's kind of gonna put out her hand to, because I assume Vanelli is with Talia.
Yes.
I think she actually reaches for, like, where she's sort of gotten used to Vanelli being when Vanelli's not, basically Velcro to Talia, realizes Vanelli isn't there, and sort of raises her hand for.
What was that last part?
Yeah, I didn't hear it.
Raises her hand for Mercy.
Mercy kind of hops over to give you like a beak rub, kind of this thing that a lot of times like birds of prey will rub their.
Yeah.
It's called beaking. They'll like rub their beak
I
to
know.
clean it. But she does leave your company and flies after Susanna.
Yeah.
Does she go to the door to Susanna's bedroom, or does she fly out of the house and around to the window?
Wherever Susanna had gone.
All right.
To
So
the door.
the door is closed.
She kind of does like a wrapping with her beak.
I think
There-
Susanna went out the window. I as Drew think Susanna went out the window.
There is no response.
She will continue to.
There is still no response.
And if she does that for about like 10 minutes, she will try and fly outside and try and find her.
All right.
Yeah.
Look in
Is there
her
anything
window and
anybody
then out.
else would like to do in the next 10 minutes while Mercy's knocking on Susanna's door?
Diana is frantically trying to stave off some kind of.
Vias looks for a little bit of alcohol because he feels a little guilty.
Vera will just kind of sit down next to Susanna, or not to Susanna, Diona, and just say, listen, you can't save everyone, and you can't save them all at once and immediately.
I don't want to save everyone. I just want to make sure the people I love are safe. That's all I want. And Susanna's in that number, and I'm scared of what'll happen if we leave and don't bring her, because
I think
I'm scared that mask won't come off.
you need to have a bit more trust in her.
I trust her. I don't trust any of this.
Your
Right,
hometown, it does weird things to you, and it's going to be difficult. And she'll need us, but I think once we do manage to get away from this place, and better yet, if we manage to help this place, then she'll be better for it.
Vias, kind of eavesdropping on your conversation, just mutters, and plus, I think it'll bring us closer. We need to be able to help her with whatever this is. I have a feeling there's some sort of
Susanna,
block. And it's been
Susanna.
haunting her for a very long time. I can see it.
of all of us, Susanna's the one who tries her best to keep us at an arm's length, and I think that's never gonna change if we don't get through that block.
Vias nods in agreement.
Mhm.
No, sorry, continue.
No, I'm done.
Are y'all done?
Yeah.
Vias is continuing
Yeah, I
to
think
rummage for
Diana's just
alcohol.
quiet for the moment.
Talia picks Vinali up and like looks at the cat and just goes, "Okay, you've done things for me before in the past. Can you find anything weird?"
I love this.
Oh my gosh.
What?
I'm trying to use the cat to find anything weird in the basement, and if not, I'm gonna search the fucking attic.
Hell
God
yeah.
damn it.
Oh my god.
Excellent.
So I guess an investigation check for the cat?
Yeah,
Is that a
Finale
straight
make
roll?
an investigation check.
Can I argue scent is involved?
Yeah, you can argue. Actually, yes, you can argue scent involved.
Oh boy, I don't like that.
Okay,
Are we
they have
smelling juice?
advantage.
Okay,
when-
I need to AFK for a little bit to do some morning routine stuff.
Okay.
Hopefully it'll only be about
Ooh,
10-15 minutes, but I don't know.
Alright.
I need to roll investigation check for alcohol. I didn't see this.
You do need to roll an investigation check for alcohol.
Ooh, a
nobody has a-
16!
Nobody has a passive perception higher than 18, right?
No.
Vinali.
No.
Yeah. With
You
Marcus
could
on
literally-
his shoulder, yes.
Oh, what's Dylan's passive perception?
With Marcus on his shoulder, which he currently has, it is 21.
Okay.
Holy
Jesus.
fuck.
There. Hold on.
He noticed things. Very good.
In the Raven thing, you get a bonus to your passive wisdom perception score and to wisdom perception checks. The bonus equals your charisma modifier.
Alright. So,
It's crazy.
with your super perception, by which I mean Marcus's super perception, you hear something from Susanna's room. Something. Doesn't sound like anything concerning, but it does sound like something. And you sort of move to a window to see if you can get an angle on one of those dining room and see what you can see from one of those windows. And you see that little gray and white bird flying around towards the back of the house where you know Susanna's room is. And yeah, that's all you would see from your current location. That's what you get.
Dylan is suspicious of the bird.
Was the 16 investigation for the alcohol?
Yes.
Okay. So,
My 2 rolls were for finale because cats are dumb.
yikes. Rip Finale.
Oh.
You do find some alcohol. It takes some climbing, though. You have to
You-
climb.
Vias
literally
does have wild
ask
shape.
You have to.
You could
climb-
literally ask Veyra. She has alcohol on her at all times.
Vias did not think to ask, but he is searching for it.
He climbs up onto the kitchen counter to reach cabinets that are way too tall for you to reach, way too tall for Susanna to reach. And you open it, and indeed, there is a half-full bottle of whiskey.
Vias just in Marquesan he says, "Fuck yeah." And he will pull it out. He will reach behind and see if there's anything else of note inside of there aside from just the whiskey.
Strangely enough, there is a teacup and saucer that looks like it hasn't been washed in a very long time. But apart from that, no.
Damn. He will just take the whiskey. Does it have any sort of label on it or anything?
It has a label that would be appropriate for some average grade whiskey. I don't know anything about
That's
alcohol.
fair. Vias is mostly looking for the age of it. Is it really old? Is it
It is. It looks. It's not like it was left here by the 7th previous owner. It looks like it was probably purchased and acquired at some point while Susanna has the house, as far as age is concerned. It's mid-grade whiskey. It's not fantastic whiskey. It's
That's
whiskey.
fair. It's not his favorite, but he will probably just like glance around and just kind of pour himself a drink.
Valid.
Just one, he thinks, but probably will have two.
I presume Vanelli finds nothing, and Talia is up into the attic now.
Vanali does find nothing. Okay, welcome to the attic. You make another investigation check for the attic.
I want to find anything about her husband or her sister. I don't care about her.
Yeah, that's valid. Okay.
Talia said, "Fuck Susanna lives."
Oh my god.
That's valid, honestly.
Can I argue I get Vanelli to help me?
Yeah, I'll give it to you because you've been rolling like shit. Take advantage.
11. God.
Oh,
fucking
Oh
damn it.
no!
So, you find. Oh my gosh. I'm trying so hard to give you things, but you roll so bad. You go
No.
through these boxes, and you do find clothes that must have been her husband's because they are man-shaped and man-sized. They like
Not that Talia has a concept of what that
Right.
means.
they look like the clothes that you've seen the other like Idris, Coover, Devon Crow wearing. It looks like those clothes. They look like they haven't been up here for years, so clearly they were at some point recently, not super recent still. I'm trying so hard to think of things I can give you with an 11. You find a tablecloth that
Okay.
looks like the one that Susanna had on the table for dinner, which was large to accommodate the large table. You shake it out. This looks like the small version of that tablecloth. It is red and white checked like a picnic blanket. It's a quaint little tablecloth, except for the really large blood stain on one side of it.
Fuck.
What?
Hmm.
Yeah. God damn.
And Talia, because you can work out that this is a tablecloth, and because you can
Yeah.
work out that it goes on the table, you remember from your last investigation the big reddish-brown stain on the table.
Mm-hmm.
And you think, these are probably connected in some way. And that is all I can give you with 11. There's so much to be found, and you're rolling so shittily.
Talia
makes me so
folds up Talia folds the tablecloth back up, tucks it under their arm, walks back downstairs, checks to make sure Susanna still isn't in the dining room.
Suzanne is not in the dining room.
Jonah, could you help me clear this table real quick for me, please? Thank you.
I think Donna kind of gets up a little bit mechanically and does. Like she desperately needs something to focus on that is whatever's going on in her headspace right now. I do think there's a very sort of sour, salty smell around her.
Vice is
All
just
the shit
downing
off the
that
table.
second glass of whiskey.
All the shit off the table. Talia fucking doesn't care about the goddamn tablecloth. Rip that shit off.
Mm-hmm.
Vice will attempt to grab the dishes that are probably still on the table.
No, Talia and Diona have removed them all.
Oh,
The
bless.
dishes are removed. The tablecloth is cast aside without a thought. The table
tablecloth is yeeted.
The table is still expanded, but you saw Susanna put it up, so you can fold the flaps down if you like.
I would, thank you.
All right, fold the flaps down. It works pretty well. You're pretty impressed with that.
Yeah.
And then I want to find the part under, like, it was under the table where the stain was?
No, the stain was
It
on
was on
top of
top.
the table. It
Okay.
was the surface of the table is stained, dark brownish red, reddish brown,
Alright.
whatever.
Dylan does not like that.
I will take the fucking tablecloth out and lay it on the table so that they line up.
They do indeed line up.
Someone help me look through the attic. I can't find anything but this.
I will.
I mean, Mercy went off on her own way, so she
It's
just
true.
like left
At
the
this
damn door.
Mercy has left to fly away and around the house, presumably to try and find the window. The window is open. Mercy can fly in there. Susanna's not in the room. The
Yep.
closet is open. You can fly in there as well. Susanna's not in the closet. Susanna's not in the house. Susanna probably climbed out the window. Mercy can go into.
Susanna
Yeah,
climbed out the
Mercy will
window.
try her best to try and find Susanna.
All right. So you just do a big sort of sweeping fly over the town.
Looking for a lady with bright orange hair and a black dress.
It's not hard to find her. She hasn't made it very far in this time, but she is certainly walking with a purpose, and you can catch up to her pretty easily.
She will. She won't, like, disrupt her, but she will make her presence known.
When Susanna catches sight of you, she's walking quite fast. She catches sight of you, and she looks and she says, "Oh yeah, I probably should have expected that.
Mercy
I'm
just
coming
chitters.
back. Don't worry. I'm coming back. I just need a minute, several minutes, hour possibly. I don't know. I just need to. Yeah."
She kind of,
And-
like, flies beside you just for a moment, and then kind of, like, drops down to the ground and hops after you.
Yeah, so Susanna keeps walking. Mercy can easily tell, because now she's gotten pretty far. The town's not that big. It's not hard to get places. Susanna is going to the graveyard.
Yep.
So you can follow her there. Dylan is going to the attic. Dylan is looking in the attic, I presume.
Yes.
I think Dylan is helping Talia look in the attic.
Make investigation checks, please. Do them
Do well.
I don't
Why
think your
can't it be
investigation-
perception?
No, it can't be perception.
Fuck me, dude.
Oh my god!
Okay.
Can Marcus
Oh.
make an investigation check?
No, because he's on
No, oh no, I just
the in the
realized
first place.
Susanna has the highest intelligence of us, doesn't she?
Yes.
Oh, Zoella.
Or Zoella, yeah.
Yeah.
Got 6.
Okay, so, no. Y'all are looking and looking in her attic. Oh, God, there would be so... I just want to tell you. You can't find it.
Can I do an investigation check?
Zoella, do
Yes,
an
let's
investigation
do
check.
stuff.
Please, Zoella.
Me, Parker, who has ideas and clues and thinks I know what I want to find, can't
Oh my
fucking roll.
God.
Oh my god! Can I attempt one for Diona as well?
Yeah,
just
everybody make a
Everyone's
fucking
just gonna fucking
If you're in the house, make an investigation check. Swear to God.
nope.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my god! Why is it like
Better than
that?
it.
Vice is going
Roll
to try.
higher than 11.
That's it.
Please just roll higher than an 11.
Investigation?
Investigation.
Come on.
God damn it!
Oh my god.
Is there any chance at all that I can take advantage for some reason? If only because
Look,
It's
everybody's
not meant to be.
No, you know what? I've decided. Vias, you are helping everybody else. Everybody else is helping you. I'm going to decide that you get advantage on that, so that's that 20.
you can
Oh,
have
fuck
that
it.
20.
Thank you.
Give you the fucking lore.
Dylan has
Parker
a
fucking
very
sobbing.
sinking
There has
feeling.
to be a secret room or some shit hidden somewhere. Talia's
Okay,
just
I will be
gone.
right back, but I will be listening, so
Okay.
yeah.
So I'll just tell you. So you're all climbing up and down the stairs to this attic.
I think that Diana would have actually headed for the basement.
right,
I think that's where
Diana's-
she's at.
Okay, Diona's in the basement. Vias is in the attic. And we'll say, because you got a nat 20, and this is what I want you guys to do. Vias is up in the attic. Somebody else is out of the attic and would be able to easily open the door. But Vias, you try closing the stairs to the attic because you remembered Susanna very specifically saying something about the stairs to the attic not opening again. And you
I
close that.
should have thought of that.
Oh my god, this is fucking funny. So, first of all, you're looking at these stairs, and indeed, you push down, and you can't open them again. So you're gonna have to have somebody else help you out up there in a second, but it doesn't matter. And you're looking at it, and it is... There's a mechanism there. It looks, you can see sort of how it latched shut, right? Do not turn into a bear in the middle of Susanna's attic. What is wrong with
Dylan
you?
vetoes the bear.
Oh my god. So you're looking at the mechanism and you can see not only is it designed clearly so that you cannot get out, but it looks like somebody has tried pretty hard to damage it or break it or somehow otherwise open it. Well, it is not, able to be opened. And then you look
Mhm.
around more and are searching through boxes. You see there's one box that looks like it was placed there fairly recently, just because it has less dust on it, and admittedly, fewer things have dust on it because of all the fucking investigating that you guys have been doing. But you think this one looks a little bit different, and you open it, and it has a few things in it. It has a white men's shirt that looks also like it has some sort of reddish brown stain. There are two men's shirts, actually. Both of them have blood on them. One of them has holes in it.
How many holes?
The one that Vias is holding up with the holes he's looking at, it looks like there are holes that are round, small, and could conceivably have been caused by a bullet, possibly. And they have been, they're stained, but it looks as though somebody has washed them or tried very, very hard to wash them. And it has not come out. There's also in that box there is investigation in the basement. Yes, do that.
Can I do that with advantage?
Yes,
please. Thank
For
you.
fuck's sake, somebody needs to get something. The shirts have been washed. There's a candlestick in there that is covered with wax. And you don't really understand that. It doesn't seem to make sense. There is okay. What else in that box? Fuck. There are the pieces of broken plates. They look like two pieces of broken plates. And that is what is in that box. And it's a very strange collection of things. It's very warm up in the attic. Heat rises. It's getting very hot and stuffy in there. So you're going to want to ask somebody to get you out pretty soon. Basement. Yes?
Sorry, can I make an intelligence check for Dylan to see if he puts some together?
Yeah. It can even be wisdom if that's higher for you.
Wisdom probably works better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would like to try to jimmy the damn thing open, please.
Okay, you'd like to open the attic?
Yeah, I don't care at this point.
From the inside or the outside?
I think Talia's on the outside.
APK?
Yeah?
What do you think a panic attack save would be?
Shit.
That's also a wisdom save.
Okay, he's good for now.
I think Talia would have been kind of like moving between attic and downstairs and up and around, so I can make the argument that they're outside of the attic.
Yes, they can be.
I mean, Vias, if he was doing all this stuff, he probably would have put through the ring of telepathy, like, hey, I'm stuck in the attic. Please help. I don't want to break it yet.
Talia will open that shit and then head back downstairs.
Okay. So.
Dylan is not a fan of the place.
Yeah, Dylan, you know.
Dylan knows.
Dylan knows.
Dylan is quite possibly making more connections than are actually there, and
I mean, Vias is starting to connect things. With the things that Vias has found, he's connecting the dots.
Marcus is all the way puffed up with feathers.
Okay. What do I have next on the agenda? The fucking basement.
14.
14.
Oof.
Okay. I don't remember what.
Hey, look, a 14 is better than I expected, quite
It is
frankly.
true. It is not bad. I'm just trying to think of what I already told Talia about the basement. That I should have documented this better.
Mostly just about the workshop.
Yeah. The basement really is the workshop. Pretty much. There are you can see on the walls there are scuff marks and things that don't seem to be natural for, like, I don't know, doesn't look like they should be there. And there's a dent in one of the walls that I think I already told you about. And 14 is pretty good, but it's not going to get you anything that isn't what Talia already found the first time they looked there. I don't think. Unless there's something very specific that you're looking for.
All the shelves, and does the table seem movable?
There are on one wall, there are shelves. The tables seem like they are, I mean, they're fit to the rooms, so it's not like they are easily movable, but they don't seem built into the room.
She's gonna try and at least shift them a bit to see if they all...
They shift a little bit. They definitely move because you are strong, and I'm not gonna make you roll to jiggle the table.
Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
I actually have to run an AFK real quick. I will be right back. I'm so sorry, guys.
It's alright.
Oh boy.
You're good.
Sorry.
Oh.
Oof.
I'm making a meme, y'all. Hold on.
Oh no.
Oh, I love the Josh memes. They are so good.
I feel like either my hunch is very correct and I will feel very vindicated, or this is my chair. This basement is my chair.
Chair. Fuck, why won't MS Paint let me edit my text?
Oh god, I feel that. Because it's awful, that's why.
Yeah, Diana's basically starting with trying to shift shelves if she can. Because if there's something concealed, it might be by the shelves. That's her logic.
Mm-hmm.
Talia's like, this house has secrets and I will find them, except I won't because I'm not smart enough.
Big mood. Vice is like, I know there's secrets here, but I do not know enough. The only thing he is able to find is a shirt with bullet holes, which... Oof, that's familiar.
I
It's
think
pretty
the fact
telling.
Yeah.
that I didn't make this my vision kind of makes it better. This is Dylan's mind right now.
Oh god.
Dylan's brain is saying plate.
Shit.
Hi, I'm back. I'm sorry. I was
Welcome
really
back.
thirsty.
It's okay.
I needed
Are you
the
okay?
water. I'm good. I just, my throat got so dry, and I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna die if I don't get
You're
water
good.
right now.
It's all good.
So,
We understand a
Drink
thirsty
the
bitch.
water.
Thirsty bitch is me.
PK, do you like my meme?
Your meme is beautiful.
I-
Oh man.
I'm going to go back to Mercy, who had followed Susanna to the graveyard, right?
Yes. She's
So-
hopping along.
Susanna goes and she walks into the graveyard and she goes right to where you remember from the other day, her grave being, and she walks up to it and she sits on it. Not like on the stone, like with her back against the stone, she sits on the dirt of the grave.
Mm-hmm.
And she just sort of, I mean, it's really, it's stupid is what it is. It's unfathomable stupid. It's ridiculous. Oh, mistake. I made a mistake. I made a mistake. I made a lot of mistakes, but I made a very big... Okay. And, Mercy, you see, I assume you sort of settle on the ground behind her.
Mm-hmm.
Beside her, rather. Just somewhere near her. You see the little... Actually, this is the first time you've seen it. You see a little gray and white bird, a little mockingbird, land on the grave behind Susanna. Susanna doesn't notice it, doesn't acknowledge it. It doesn't do the tapping thing that it had been doing on the window. not that you noticed that, I guess. You were not there for those. But it's just chilling. And Susanna is continuing to sort of talk to herself, probably having a slight meltdown, possibly. And you look at the little bird. You look at it very closely, and it kind of almost seems to flicker in and out of your vision. And you look closer, even closer than before, trying to get the details, trying to understand what it is there. And it flickers, and it flickers, and it flickers away entirely. And then there is a figure standing behind the grave. The figure is sort of translucent. It has a pale cast. It's washed out, colorless, but it looks like a woman with her hair hanging around her face. You can't see her face. She's bending forward, leaning over the grave, over Susanna, and reaching down towards her. And then you blink, and the woman is gone, and the mockingbird is sitting there again.
I think Mercy would flitter over to Susanna's side and kind of brush up against her. And it doesn't come out as Vias's voice, but there's like almost a lullaby song from her.
Aw. That's so Susanna seems
It
soothed
seems
by this.
almost familiar.
She sort of relaxes and slumps back against the grave and takes a deep breath and sighs and nods. And you can't help but look up. And the bird is still there, and you look at it, and it's looking at you. And it flickers again. And the woman's back. And she's not leaning over Susanna anymore. She's a little farther away. She's standing ramrod straight, and she's looking down at you. And you can see her face clearly now. She's sort of faded. She's washed out still, so you can't see, colors. You can't see the flush of her cheeks or the red of her hair or the deep brown of her eyes, but the features, you recognize them. And you're looking at Susanna. And Susanna is looking at you.
Fuck yeah, I called it.
What?
And Susanna is also sitting there with her eyes closed to your lullaby, but this other Susanna is standing back, and she's staring at you, Mercy. She's staring at you, and deeply unsettling, because in the same way that you are looking at her and seeing her for what she really is, you get this unsettling sense that she is seeing you just the same way. And she raises a shaking hand to her chest and points at herself. And then she reaches down and points at either Susanna or the grave she's sitting on. You can't tell which. Points at it, and then she flickers again, and she's gone, and the mockingbird is sitting there, and it's still looking at you.
What the
Susanna
fuck?
does not notice any of this. Susanna doesn't see this.
Hey,
Mercy turns her attention from...
hey.
What?
Hey, PK.
Yeah?
Hey.
Hey?
Hey.
I can't even conceive of what the hell.
Mercy turns her attention from Susanna to the mockingbird, and she repeats the lullaby.
I have one piece of meta from Eckley, and it led me to this.
I have known since PK set this up, and I have been trying so hard to not spill the beans too early.
See, I'm an idiot. I didn't notice.
So,
you weren't supposed to notice.
you
This
weren't
was
supposed
the
to
reveal.
notice. It was a cool... So, Mercy, you sing to the mockingbird, and the mockingbird opens its beak as if it's trying to sing back, but no sound comes out. That's what happens at the graveyard. How y'all doing in the house?
What? What the
Um,
I
Diana?
don't think that's it. I don't think she's dead. I think I know what the fuck it is, though.
I can't even think.
If that
Clones.
information gets relayed to Diona, she has might help. Anyway,
Clones.
But nobody has known anything about this. Mercy's the only motherfucker who knows what's going on right now. So how's
And
the house
possibly
doing?
Vias when she
Diana
gets to
is-
replying with that.
Dylan's
trying.
thinking about plates. Can I make another wisdom save?
Make
for-
it.
Oh,
Please.
buddy!
Oh.
Oh, I just want to hold him.
Oh, that's worse.
No!
Oh, how's he doing?
Dylan's thinking about plates.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
buddy!
And
Where's-
his
holding his
specific
eye.
trauma with
The one with the
plates.
scar
Oh
through
my
it.
god.
Where's Dylan in the house?
He's in
Please.
the attic with Vias.
Okay,
Oh god,
so
you're in the
there's not.
you're in the Vias addict. Can
So there
Vias
is not with
roll
them,
to see
probably.
if he can like calm you down?
Oh boy.
I would assume that he's able to realize you're freaking out at this point, considering
Oh,
his
great.
previous investigation check.
That's up to PK. I'm
Dylan-
on the side of the panic attack.
How obvious of a panic attack are you?
Dylan has a hand over the eye with the scar, and he is very, very noticed. Like, expression distressed, and Marcus is fucking like bird, feather, floof. Marcus is essentially an orb of bird.
Yeah, okay, so Ryan, something is up with Dylan. He is freaking the fuck out right now.
I think whatever Vias was investigating ends up like just tossed to the side and he is immediately in not in Dylan's space, but more like, oi, hey, Dylan. Dylan, please. It's okay. You're safe.
What?
Don't worry. It's okay.
Here in the town full of undead crows.
Shh. It's okay. You have other people here with you. You're not going to be hurt. This place cannot hurt you with us here.
That's not the point.
No, but you have support. And he holds out a hand.
I don't know what the hell that is. I mean, I know the word. I think.
It means I won't
It-
let you be hurting.
Oh,
What is
it
going
too
on?
late
Are you
for that.
okay?
Too late for that, buddy.
It means that I will be here to support you if you need me. Okay? I was here for you before. I'm not going to leave just because of whatever this is brought up. You can talk to me.
Susanna killed him. Right?
Vice just gives you a blank stare. I mean, that was kind of obvious now.
I know
but
that's
yes.
kind of obvious, but like, what are the fucking chances that I like meet someone? Like, I'm like, oh, and I run into a fucking tavern. I meet someone else who's killed their husband, and there's fucking plates involved.
Vice just blinks at you.
Yeah, you don't know what I'm talking about.
Hold on.
You have no idea what the hell I'm talking about.
I do not because you don't speak to me about these things, which I do
Because I
not
don't-
blame you for because it is personal and whatever that it needs to be for you. However, if you want to talk about something, or if you need a support on that, I can be that.
You don't have to be though. I mean, like, not even my parents know what happened. Nobody knows what happened except for me, the Raven Queen, and him, and he's dead.
Vice
And
holds
he's
out
not
a hand
coming
to
back.
you. You shared.
Dylan
Go ahead.
does not take it.
Vice will keep his hand to himself then. And he says, you shared a lot about yourself to me. And I won't say that you need to share anymore, however. It is nice to know more about the people I care about. And
I'm not fun to know about.
Vias gives like a shaky smile and says, I am not really either.
Okay, but do you at least like have cool hair?
Vias like shakes his head and says, it's genetics, it's fine. You have
What
a
the
very
fuck is that?
persuasive personality, you know.
What the hell is genetics?
What you inherit from your parents. My parents are fucking gorgeous. I just
Like
inherited
money?
that.
Like money?
Like money? What do you mean by money?
You like inherit money from your parents when they die and stuff?
Vias looks offended as fuck.
What do you
Oh
mean?
no!
What do you mean about looks? I thought everyone had their own look.
You do understand that you get half of your looks from your parents, yes?
My what?
What
No,
you look like?
this is new information to me.
And Vias just kind of crosses his arms and he grumbles, I did not get half of my parents' money. I earned my money.
Dylan is calmed down by the confusion of whatever the hell genetics is.
Well, at least what Vias said has worked.
Dylan does still want out of the attic, but now he's boggled and confounded by whatever the hell genetics is.
Vias just kind of like plops down. He says, do I have to explain Punnett squares?
Oh no, that's starting a little too fast, I think.
First
We have
there's...
to tell him about Gregor Mendel and the peatland.
Here is the
Even
alleles.
does Mendel exist in Taldori?
That's
Yeah,
a good
yes,
question.
he is
does.
Wizard Mandel. He's an archmage.
I don't think I know what an archmage is, but continue.
Alright.
We're Dylan's taking freshman biology, y'all.
When Vias knows barely half of biology himself. Wait, does he have proficiency in history? I don't remember. He has proficiency in religion.
You're talking about Punnett squares.
Yeah, he has like a 0 in history, so he really doesn't know what he's talking about.
Dylan is better at history than Vias. I don't know
Wow.
how I rolled a history check.
Except that
Okay.
your intelligence is much lower than Vias.
It's because I took proficiency. Literally all of my proficiencies except for insight are in all of the intelligence stuff I could do except for nature because
Oh,
Dylan being
bless.
raised in a bookstore, that made the most sense
Yeah, that
for
does.
me to invest in.
I really wish I would
Also,
have
so I
picked...
could not roll shit on investigation.
I
Every
really wish I could have done investigation in nature for Vias, but that might have to be a future what do you want to call it? Like the skilled
upgrade.
feat, yeah.
No.
Clearly,
So anyway, a
none of
conversation
y'all
about genetics occurs in the attic.
or any
Yes. Vias
Have they been let out yet?
Vias has
The
accidentally
door is
calmed
open, but
I'll let them
Dylan can't.
Okay.
Vias has accidentally calmed down Dylan, despite his trying to, like, normally. He has accidentally calmed him down by profounding him with science. Blinded me with
Sounds about right.
science.
Dylan doesn't know what a gene is, y'all.
Do any of us? Does genetic theory exist in Taldori?
I would
It
assume
does
so.
Apparently.
Talia understands
I'm
the
sure they
that.
know that, like, yes, we can't, like, be with cousins because obviously they become, yeah.
Oh boy.
Sorry, Tim.
Oh my god. Sigh.
Well,
That happens.
Susanna's gonna start walking back from the graveyard at this point.
oh yeah, fuck it, that. What the hell?
Yeah.
Mercy, I assume you go with her. The mockingbird does not follow.
I think Mercy kind of gives that mockingbird one last look, and then we'll fly over to Susanna and perch on, what was the shoulder that, or the hand that wasn't, like, Her bad hand.
It's her left hand.
Her
it's
left
Her
fine.
hand.
left hand is fine.
Yeah.
Her right hand.
She perches on the left shoulder.
That's sweet of her.
She
Susanna
remembers.
seems
I do not.
slightly better spirits at this
I
point.
remember because I remember the fucking necrotic bullshit that set off the panic attack.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a very unlucky coincidence.
But it got Susanna bonding.
It was interesting.
Yep.
Susanna does not have a robot arm yet.
Yet.
Susanna- yet.
Does not have what yet?
A robot arm yet.
Yeah, she's working on it.
She really wants to. That's a later conversation though, because Susanna's gonna walk back to her house, which is at the moment in a little bit of a state of upset.
Just
Why
left to
is-
calm down, and now she's gonna come back to this nonsense.
Bias using the
Dylan.
dust of the attic to do Punnett squares with Dylan.
Dylan is fascinated, and also, can I make an intelligence check for how much of this is?
Please roll high. Oh my
Please-
god,
please
I
make an
want you to
intelligence
roll
check.
high.
No, roll low.
Please
Three.
roll high.
I want him to gravely misunderstand
Oh
everything
my
about
god.
this.
So,
Yeah.
Dylan
wait.
now believes jeans are squares.
Oh my god, please, I need to roll intelligence for Vias to see how good he teaches. Okay, that's
Okay,
not good.
so- Bias, you're doing a fine job of teaching him. You're sure of it. You're also sure he's not picking up a single goddamn thing you're saying.
I think Vias is just reassured that he's calmed Dylan down and he just is glad that he's done that. And he's just like, okay, never mind. We need to get out of here now.
Can I make an intelligence check to see how much Marcus understands?
Yes.
Please. Oh no!
Hey, they're on the same
Same.
page.
Both
Marcus
dumb.
thinks Dylan knows what's up.
Marcus always thinks Dylan. Marcus thinks Dylan is the coolest human.
Oh my god.
That's why he's like
That
this.
is so valid.
Marcus took one look at Dylan and was like, "Yep,
That's a fine specimen.
that's a dude." And then Dylan was like, crying, and Marcus did like a bird snuggle, and Dylan stopped crying, and Marcus was like, "Hey."
I done it! Big mood. That's actually very similar to what happened with Bias and Mercy, but you'll have to figure that out later.
Yeah,
Everybody,
Mercy's his
but,
dead
uh,
sister.
everybody,
Yeah, okay.
everybody, but Dylan sort of assumed that Susanna was just still in her room having a like whatever kind of breakdown she was having. So when the
What was that?
Dylan knows things.
you all sort of assumed that Susanna was still in her room. She was not. So when the front door opens, it's startling for all of you.
Aside Bias, because Mercy does tell him that they are arriving.
Yeah,
Talia instantly runs
Bias
upstairs.
and Dylan knew.
Talia runs upstairs and attempts to, in any possible way, like sit on the table with like the tablecloth stain like under their body, like.
Oh my god.
God bless
Um,
them.
So Susanna comes in. Mercy is on her shoulder. She looks at Talia. It's a big blood stain, Talia. There's no way you're covering this whole thing. Blood stain.
Oh, poor Susanna.
Oh no.
She looks at the open attic stairs. She looks around at anybody else and it. Jeez, it's not like I died or anything. I've been gone for like 20 minutes.
Does Dylan hear this?
Yes. If
He,
you.
he calls down from the attic. Well, everyone else was rummaging around, so like, why lose the fun? Also, Bias is teaching me about squares.
Genetics, dear, not squares, but if you want them to just be squares, we can do a different version with circles and squares and make like half squares and circles.
But why is it square shaped if it's not squares?
Because it is easier to place the mixes of letters for the alleles.
There are letters. Why are there leopards?
There are eels.
Susanna tunes
Talia-
the conversation out.
Talia
Ah.
is like,
To Talia.
I hate every one of you. I hate you all.
I am so sorry.
Bias just
Hey,
like
Tals, what you doing?
And they kind of look down at the table and they're like, all right, okay, and they get up and off the table.
Okay. Susanna looks at the tablecloth. And she says, you know, that was a wedding gift from Mrs. Christabel Tucker. She got me 2 of them. She got me that little one there, and she got me that bigger one that is on the floor there. And I always love those tablecloths. There's a little bit of blood on that one now. Let me try to wash out the stain, and they said they were going to throw it away, so I hid it.
can Bias make an insight check on what's going on
Vias
here?
isn't there.
Vias is in the attic
Yeah.
talking to Dylan.
I think
He
Diana
is-
that might
He
make
is
a
a bird
real
on Susanna's shoulder, to be fair.
Okay,
True.
so Mercy can.
Okay, I don't know what. Okay, I need to do
Vias
crow
is
stats. Because I don't know.
Dylan is
Raven stats.
Yes.
Vera is definitely going to insight this.
Dylan's curious about what's
Insight is
going on
wisdom, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's a +1. That's not much.
Alright,
That's
people
okay.
make more insight checks.
Dylan, not understanding anything about the squares, goes down.
Oh shit,
Downstairs.
Mercy! 19.
Okay.
Thank God someone is. I haven't rolled above a 10, I think, in this entire session.
Mood.
Mercy. Susanna said that. She said she loved that tablecloth. She said it got blood on it and they wanted to get rid of it, so she hid it. And that is perfectly true. She is just telling the facts of the situation.
Okay.
And
I
I.
think
Diana, before she reemerges, I think she's going to make sure to try and set everything back, at least roughly where it was, at least the furniture that she was trying to shift, just out of,
So
you
that
know,
she doesn't get busted for similar crimes.
I think
Busted
Eh,
for snooping crimes.
And Vias kind of gets up from his part in the attic, and through Mercy, he would probably have her like come away from Susanna so he's not crowding her. Since I don't think he'd be like immediately there, he would say, and the reason for shirts with blood on them?
Shirts. What shirts?
Vias, I think, probably would have grabbed the 2 from the attic and brought them down.
Oh, cool. Let's just
Yeah.
let's just add Susanna's fucking trauma.
Let's air her laundry.
Dylan doesn't know what's going on.
Just lay it all out there all at once.
Might as well rip it off like a band-aid.
Susanna, does Vias like show her these shirts?
He just holds them. He has like them crumpled in his hand, but he doesn't like show them off like, oh, what is this sort of thing. He's just like, he just has them in his hands. He's not like flaunting them or anything. And he just says, what's the truth that you're hiding from us?
Susanna, looks at the shirts and looks at the tablecloth and looks at the shirts and she looks at the tablecloth and she looks back and forth a few more times and
Has Diana
her
made a reemergence at
hands
this point?
are shaking. Yeah, she probably has.
Yeah.
She's just getting to the end of the hallway. Susanna reaches into her skirt pocket and pulls out a little vial of smelling salt. And she inhales and steadies herself on her feet.
Veyra's gonna try and sort of, if she can, guide her towards a chair, so she doesn't
Yep.
just pass out.
She will very easily be guided to that chair, and she sits down, and she says, "So, well, here's what happened. When people get cut, the blood inside their body goes outside their body. Does that make sense? Is that a simple enough explanation?"
That is one, but it does not explain the small holes.
What? Look, look, I don't know. That's the secret. That's the secret that I'm hiding. The secret is that I don't know. The secret is that I don't know anything. I don't know anything about this town. I don't know anything about myself. I don't know anything about this house. I don't know any of it. I don't know any of it because I can't remember. I can't remember any of it because my head remembers some things and not other things, and nothing that I remember seems to fit right with what other people tell me, and it doesn't make sense and it doesn't add up, and I don't know what it is. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. I remember the next morning, but I don't know what happened before then.
I
Susanna,
think Diana's gonna step up and put an arm around Susanna. Yes? Sorry,
Yeah.
I didn't mean to interrupt.
Vias was basically just going to put the shirts that he had out of sight, mostly because he feels bad now that he has made her panicked.
She was ready to panic anyway. That's just her vibes.
Yeah.
What had you been saying, dearest?
That had just been me moving. It's alright.
Okay, I thought you'd said Susanna, so I was...
Nope. Wasn't me.
Okay.
Susanna, speaking of, she just sort of sits there and she says, "Okay, so there's a lot of things that happened, and there's a lot of things that I thought I knew what happened. I was sure that I knew what happened, but I was wrong. All right, I got it wrong, and it doesn't add up, and it doesn't make sense, and I can't rely on what I remember, so I have to rely on other things. So I save some things that help me remember, and I keep them somewhere. I don't have to look at them, but I can find them if I need them, and it doesn't always help, but sometimes it helps, and I don't remember. I don't know what happened."
Vias will approach Susanna, and glance at Mercy for a moment, and there's like a look of understanding between the two, and then he kind of like kneels down to where she is and places like his hands in his lap. He doesn't touch Susanna and says, "There's a significance to that mockingbird, isn't there?"
What?
He glances at Mercy again. "She saw something while you were there at the graveyard."
What, she saw me being sad? There's a lot of that.
"She won't share that with me, but she shared something else."
I am a grieving widow. It is my prerogative to be sad in a
"Susanna,
graveyard.
please listen to me."
You don't know. No, I don't want to listen to you. I don't want to listen to any of you. I don't want to listen to any of it because
This
all
might
this
be
happens is
important for you, because
all
what
this
she saw was not something normal. It was
Nothing
you.
here. What?
He adjusts himself on the floor where he's kneeling and says, "She saw you."
Obviously, she saw me. She was right there with me. I was next to her. I would be concerned if she didn't see me. Her vision would need to get checked if she had.
Susanna, the mockingbird, it shifted between something, in and out, and seemed to become a paler version but you.
What?
And Diana pauses.
A version of me. A bird is a version of me.
Like a ghost or
A ghost?
I'm
a ghost. I'm a ghost and a bird and me. I can't be all things, Vice. I'm only one person. I can't be more than one thing.
The bird might be a echo of you.
Echo.
There was a story I heard once from Old Marta. She told me that, particularly when we're young, when we sleep, our souls wander. That's how we dream. They're connected by a thread, and that's how they know their way home. And she also said that that thread can get severed. Sometimes people do it to themselves. Sometimes it happens because they were put through an awful lot of pain and fear. And it can never find its way back home when that thread's severed. She said there's ways to fix it, but I always thought it was Seawood and Tails. I didn't.
Okay. All right. So let's all let me speak for a second here because
Of course. Sorry.
because yes. All right. So you're telling me that the little bird who sits on my windowsill is a ghostly version of me, and you, Daona, are telling me that it sounds like that it is my soul, and that's why I don't dream, because
That wasn't. Yeah.
because
Right.
I don't have my soul, and you're telling me that this is all just happening right now. Of course it's all just happening right now. I thought I had control of the evening, and it's all gonna be fine. Clearly I was wrong.
I'm sorry.
It's not your fault. Clearly it's not your fault, because all that happened, just everything, I don't know. Okay. So there's a ghost version of me that might, according to an old wives' tale, be somehow my soul. But I am alive, so I must have a soul, right? So it can't be my soul, so we can rule that option out.
Or the effects of this place did something. Vias glances at Vera.
I've never seen anything like this before.
I think you mentioned
It could
something from the birds.
Did I? I honestly don't remember.
I remember. You remember when you
you
cast
meant-
detect magic? There was a different sort of necrotic magic on the mockingbird specifically that was different from the crows and different from the town itself.
Then I will say that because I don't.
Almost like a spiritual version of Jen's proposal or something.
Almost
Sorry.
like a very specific spell, but it's okay. Nobody needs to know. Okay. So, okay. So, can we let's make an agreement, because right now there's one too many things going on, and I would like it to there are 3 different things going on. I'd like there to only be 2. The first thing, we can keep the town is messed up. That's okay. We can keep that thing. We can keep the third thing too. We can keep the weird little mockingbird thing. But let's take that middle thing. Let's fold up my tablecloth. Let's fold up those shirts and let's put them back in the attic where they belong. That is what
Okay, we can do that.
I do not. There's too many. There's too much going on, and that is not.
Okay.
Vias just nods.
Daona's gonna tap Talia on the shoulder and, wanna help me fold this?
They shrug and they move towards the table to help you.
Yeah.
You both, as you go into the dining room, you easily fold the thing. You see perching on the windowsill a little gray and white mockingbird. Tap, tap, tapping on the windowsill.
Daona looks at it, looks at the tablecloth, tilts her head back over her shoulder towards where Susanna is, And I think she steps over to open the window.
It flies inside.
And she closes the window behind it and goes right back to
It's
helping, to getting Talia's help with the tablecloth.
It flies in and it sits on the mantle over the fireplace, right across from where Suzanne is sitting. It perches there and it looks at her. And Susanna looks back at it and she says, You know what I could do right now? You know what would make this whole thing go away? You know what would be so easy to do? And she reaches her pocket, pulls out the little palm pistol that she still has, and she points it at the mockingbird, and she pulls the trigger.
Talia, no.
And that
Talia.
is where we're gonna end.
Hey,
No!
you can't pull a Matt Mercer on.
Sorry,
No!
I saw the opportunity. and I had to do it.
Oh my god, does Vice have a reaction of anything? I have to look.
No, because session is over.
I know, but I'm
Unfortunately,
looking.
wow.
I have to look.
Hey, guess what? Dylan's been having an anxiety attack this whole time.
We are straight by.
Motherfucker! God damn, I can't do anything.
Sorry.
Vice, you're
Colder.
useless.
He's not hyperventilating,
Oh my
which is
god.
progress.
I was going to say that Talia was going to follow the damn thing and ask ask it itself if it was Susanna, but okay.
Susanna,
Nope.
why?
It's.
Why are you
bitch.
like this?
I'm being bastard right now, but I promise, guys, it's gonna be okay. I was just doing that for the funsies. Session is
Yeah.
over. So I'm tired, but like, it's really
Yeah.
gonna be okay. I
I
promise.
have a feeling
I
it will
believe
be,
you.
but I'm just like, oh my god, Susanna, please.
I had an urge to do a bastard thing. I'm so
Understandable.
That's valid.
You know what I've
Which
been
we
thinking
can
about?
probably actually have it that Talia ended up running after it.
Yeah, it's like Talia could have been there and looking at it, but Susanna still would have pointed the gun at it and shot.
That half this time, ever since Susanna said the crow thing, I've been thinking about that Star Kid scene. Where it's like, I'm a girl with a gun. I'm a what? And that's just Susanna in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Lordy.
Gods.
Sorry, Gil.
It's all good.
Are
Oh
you?
my god.
Are you?
Like, here's the thing.
Yes! I'm so
She
excited.
was gonna have shot at the bird no matter what, but because I'm tired and I know y'all want to, like, go do other things, and it's just be the perfect time to end session anyway.
We're gonna have
You're
so
not
much
wrong.
to fill Lena in on. We're gonna
Yeah.
have so much
God
to fill Lena in on.
Bird death, bird death, bird death,
No.
Everything
no.
happens a lot.
bird death.
Honestly, I'm so excited by the fact that this came up because now the things that I know are kind of brought it to the surface.
A lot of lore
Yes.
was just dumped out on the table.
I'm glad.
I still don't know what's going on.
That's okay. It's okay, Josh, because you still have a piece of lore that nobody else does. It doesn't relate to this at all, but you still have it.
We gotta collect the pieces.
No, you
You
can't
have
collect
lore that
Josh's
even
lore.
I don't have. So
Yes.
congratulations.
Lore.
I'll remind you later.
Was it the bird thing you sent me?
It wasn't that thing. No.
What do I know?
I'll tell
You'll
you
find
later.
out.
It's not related to this.
Oh my goodness.
What
Okay,
do I
fine.
know,
You please
PK?
Stop the recording.
Okay.
Alright.
Yeah, I'm going to say goodbye on the recording.
All right.
I'm too dumb.
Good session, PK.